Alrighty, welcome to the Uncomfortably Millennial podcast. We're your hosts. My name is Amy.
Mine's Chelsea.
And we're also supported by producer Jack.
Hey.
He's only partially invited. I'm just kidding. Oh, we are gathered here today to celebrate.
Okay. Someone died?
No.
Okay.
No, it's so funny though. I feel like we're in a world where contradictions exist. You know what I mean?
I don't.
We are both getting worse in policy and in life, and yet better in pop culture and community and crossing paths.
Man, that was deep.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. So
yeah,
anyways.
I don't know either. I'd love a little enlightenment though.
Alrighty then. Well then on that note, producer Jack's going to get us on track here today.
All right.
That was the fun intro that you prepped me for. You were like, we're gonna do a little talk. We're just gonna chat it up for a little bit before we get going.
Well, my topic, you guys told me to hold it till later, so I don't know. I'm scared I'm going to take on a country
that was like
twang.
the precursor to it.
Yeah.
Just really warming it up.
Stay tuned for topics later.
Okay, you ready for a segment?
Let's do it.
Okay, as always, we're starting with comfy or uncomfy. Basically, I'll give a list of random things, topics to Amy and Chelsea, and they will decide if it makes them just generally uncomfortable or comfortable. These ones are interesting. This one. Okay, let's start with the sexualization of vampires. It's not new. It's been happening for a while, but I want to know what your thoughts are.
Oh, I feel like that's like comfy.
So comfy.
So
comfy.
I just feel like vampires have always been like sexual. Isn't that their thing?
Yeah.
They're like seductive.
Right, and then they seduce humans.
Or they call you like a vamp, you know? Like you're like a video vamp.
Oh, I haven't heard of video vamp.
Yes, you have. Looking like a tramp, like a video vamp.
I may have heard it. I just didn't
pour some
register
sugar
it.
on me.
Oh, like pour some
Yes.
sugar. Oh, I gotta go back and listen to that song. Clearly, I didn't hear the words enough. No, I just feel like I've ever since I don't know forever. I've been watching TV shows like
Yeah, they're always like kind of like sexual.
yeah, they're super hot,
gorgeous. Yeah,
they seduce their prey and
they're prey. I will say like I never got the appeal of like Twilight vampires.
they weren't as hot. I like the TV show vampires.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like what are the what are the names of the vampires? There's like
Vampire Diaries.
Vampire Diaries.
Oh, yeah.
But then that spiraled into like multiple other shows. Like Vampire Diaries was like the OG.
Yeah.
With what's her face and what was the name of the small town?
Oh, the chick who's married to Shaun White.
Sure. Yes. Oh yes, I know.
Yeah.
I do actually know this. I don't know her name though. And Shaun White's the Carrot Top guy, right?
Well, yeah, he's a snowboarder, but he is.
Carrot Top's the Carrot Top guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought. Oh, okay. Different
Yeah, but
people.
he does have like
But he's a
curly,
like red hair.
red hair. Yeah. So I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah. Interesting choice for her after all those vampires,
Yeah.
but it's cool. So Vampire Diaries spun out into 2 other vampire shows.
Oh, wasn't there like Teen Wolf or something like that?
I can't remember. See, I don't know how that related in, but the second connection after Vampire Diaries was like the next or like the same, I guess some of the same vampires, like the bad, what was the one in Vampire Diaries that was like the bad guy? What was his name again?
The bad
blonde
vampire?
chick cheerleader got like tricked.
I don't know.
to
You're
seduce
too
him.
far in for me now.
Okay, well, I've watched all 3 of them and I don't
I've
remember
just
a
watched like
single
enough
name.
to be like, wow, they're pretty attractive.
You're hot. I'd let you kill me. It's basically what you're saying.
I'd let you make me live for eternity.
Ooh, I mean, they're selective on the turnings. They will drink your blood and then break your neck.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Supernatural too, though. There's vampires in that, but different kind.
Yeah, but I like the main supernatural
Chelsea,
characters
I'm like
better.
a huge Supernatural fan.
I love Supernatural.
think they're hot?
Die hard.
You couldn't be a bigger Supernatural fan than me.
I
Dean Winchester, like I used to have a workout shirt that said my ideal body weight is Dean Winchester on top of me.
Oh my god!
She's also a huge fan.
Are you a Sam or a Dean girl? Yeah, how could you not be?
For audience clarity, producer Jack's amazing girlfriend Matilda
Is-
Epstein, not related to Jeff Epstein, or whatever the bad
That
guy's
we're
name
aware
is,
of.
that we know.
She's pretty good at hiding
Distant
it. So.
relatives. She is a Supernatural fan.
She's obviously a Dean girl. Look at me. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah,
Not saying
totally.
There's no connection.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely
All right,
some
just
similarities.
Insert Jack's head here.
Yeah.
Does he look like Dean? That's weird for me.
Sammy.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey. Oh my god. I'm curious he would say uncomfy about that.
Have you seen their lives, by the way, on Instagram?
Like in
Like
real
their,
life?
I've seen, like,
current lives.
I've seen like a few things, but not really.
What's Padalecki? What's his first name?
Jared.
Jared, who played Sam,
Yeah.
is like half the size. He's like a skinny little
Oh,
weird
really?
dad. Did you know that he's married to the girl
He's
who played
married
Ruby?
to Ruby. Yeah. Haven't you seen the crossover episode where they like go into their lives?
yeah. Uh-huh.
And he's like, Ruby.
Dude, now I need to go stalk them on Instagram immediately after this is over.
Yeah. Obviously, Jensen Ackles is doing fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, not to say that Jared's not. I just mean Jensen's like still really famous.
God.
His real
And
name is
he's-
Jensen?
Yeah.
Jensen Ackles,
yeah.
Now I have to figure out which one
He's
was
in
which.
The
Is the
Boys
blonde
now.
one?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Jensen Ackles.
I guess so. Is he blonde? It's like
Gene?
dirty blonde.
It's dirty, but it's
Yeah.
blonde. Yeah.
Oh, he's dirty.
Oh. That's the best part. Okay.
Pour some salt around this pussy.
Oh my God. But you'll keep the vamps out.
So you're both comfortable with vamps, huh?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
You don't think about it, the fact that like, first of all, vampires didn't start out sexy. They started out terrifying, like bat people.
Oh yeah, Dracula. Duh.
And then eventually, it's somewhere along the lines, people were like, "It's kind of hot," and then they just started drawing
Is
them
it kind of
hot.
hot though?
I don't know why. I don't know what happened.
Dude,
but-
honestly though, there's so many things like that, like especially in like the Comic-Con world, where they're just supposed to be like these like fun little cartoon characters or like super scary and horrific concepts, and then people are like, but it's like
But it's like
kind
a
of
little sexy. It's like fan fiction
Yeah.
turns it like over time.
and now there's like a whole kink line, and you're like, what the fuck?
That's what Twilight was though? I'm pretty sure. It's like it was started out as like fan fiction Harry Potter shit.
Probably.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Don't quote me on that. But
I keep looking over at Matilda because I just have a feeling she knows.
she like knows about it.
She's like, I haven't
Did
spent much
Twilight
time.
start
talking
as like
about
a like a romantic novel situation or something?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's
that's
it.
what we're
That's
asking.
what we're
That's
guessing.
Well,
the
because
question.
it was just a novel series, right? It
I
was
told you
a
we should
series
just put her
about-
on the podcast.
Yeah, but I think yeah, right.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll look into it later.
But
More on that
side
later.
note, so
More to come.
like alien stuff, like when there's like a hot alien, are you guys like weirded out by that? or is it-
Aliens
Ooh.
are a little more uncomfy to me.
This makes me feel like this weird connection. Mars Attacks, when like they make the alien look all like sexual.
Wait, that's the one where the alien takes over like a housewife, right, or something?
Yeah, kind of, right?
Do I live under a rock?
It's a
She
really
does.
old movie, I think,
Wait,
right?
Yeah.
we've got an
Whoa,
update.
not
Breaking
real
news.
old.
Oh, the one I'm thinking of is from like the 40s.
Hold on, breaking news coming in. Matilda?
Actually, I think what we're thinking of is that 50 Shades of Grey is a Twilight fanfic.
Oh, okay.
Oh, 50
all right.
Shades of
50
Grey was a
Shades.
Twilight
Oh,
fan.
I did not know there would be a connection there. He's not a vampire. He's just an
I
abused little
mean,
boy
I
turned
see
grown
it.
man.
I
Yeah,
see
there's a
it.
lot of
Yeah,
similarities.
yeah.
One has superpowers, the other one has money. It's like a classic
Yeah,
Batman.
it's very
sitcom.
similar.
It's like almost the same exact thing in real life.
Yeah.
No, I don't know why aliens though for me is a little bit weirder. Like I don't think it's
What if you
like-
didn't know it was an alien? What if it was just a hot alien?
You wouldn't get like Avatared.
so they're just hot. If I don't know that they're an
that's
alien.
a good point because a lot of people there's like a sexualized like avatar thing, you know?
Well, I get that because like the whole premise of the movie is like they connect their little things at the end.
Yeah, but they didn't
Like,
have
they're
to be
doing it
hot.
Avatar
Yeah, but they didn't
style.
have to be hot aliens.
Well, I guess that's fair. If
guess
you
it
qualify
helps.
avatars, and I think the thing about aliens is like
If you
there's
qualify
so much.
avatar as an alien, that is they're literally
Like a
aliens.
9
I
foot
mean, I
tall
guess-
blue man.
I guess you could argue that's an alien 100%. It's not that
They
I'm
go to a different
afraid
planet.
of
You do admit
aliens.
this. That's an alien.
I'm not like afraid of aliens. I just feel like the sexualization of aliens to me right now, especially as we're starting to explore the world beyond and like beyond Earth, and we're starting to realize like, oh shit, we are definitely not the only things alive out there. That part, it gets real, and then I start thinking, whoa,
Oh, it's just too
I
real.
actually will say I forgot that you had a huge alien phobia when we were kids.
what?
You were terrified of aliens. You don't remember this?
Oh no. So what happened was I watched
So
some
what
one
had
of those
happened?
weird conspiracy theory TV shows where some bitch got alleged abducted, okay? And she like went up and said she got all probed, and it was like a really creepy interview concept thing on TV, and I saw it and I just I had nightmares like perpetually.
Wait, are you
after that.
saying that you don't believe her?
I'm saying whether or not it was true, I was too young to see that fucking show, but that's what happens when you're a millennial and they just put anything on fucking cable.
Sounds like Amy doesn't believe women.
I know, that's what I'm hearing.
False alarm. I'm sure she was telling some version of the truth.
Her truth.
She was telling her truth. You know what I mean?
Okay, let's move on to a new one.
Okay.
Comfy or uncomfy writing in cursive in modern day?
Oh my
Oh,
god!
I write in cursive, and I come across this all the time. Like people will be like, "What the fuck does that say?" I'm just like,
Wait, where are you writing? Like, what are you writing?
I'd write daily.
Oh, like on what? For who?
Paper mostly.
I mean, like, what are you doing when you're writing? it
Animal
down?
skin. I
Is
etch
this
it
like,
in.
is
like-
this Jesus? Is this like you journaling? Or are you like writing notes to people?
Oh
like,
wow,
what do
you got
write?
way deeper than like. No, I'm like telling myself to remember things at work. I'm like
it's like
sticky
your
note.
little-
Hey, don't forget to do this.
Oh, I thought you were like, I don't know, like writing like,
Journaling?
doctor's
No.
notes or letters or some shit. I don't know.
I thought you
Fun-
were forging doctor's notes.
Oh, fun fact though, at our doctor's office, I'm saying just at the mic. When we write the doctor's note, just one of us signs for it. We like take it in the back and we sign it. It's never the doctor who actually signs the
You shouldn't
doctor's.
say that. You shouldn't put that on
We're
there.
gonna cut that out. I'm just kidding.
definitely
Leave it
illegal.
in, but we'll just never admit where she works.
Yeah, well, you should do that anyway.
No, but that's what I'm talking about. Like
No, they told us to do that.
No, I mean,
Right, right,
yeah.
that
They're
doesn't
like,
make
they're
it
like, don't
legal.
They
bother
didn't
the
tell you
doctor.
to make a podcast.
that bitch
about
told me she got abducted
That's
in
true.
Probe. What
Actually,
do you
the doctor
think?
asked me about the podcast the other day, and I was like, don't watch it.
Jesus,
It's a
don't
HIPAA
watch it.
violation waiting to happen.
Yeah.
But also, unless they're gonna scrub, then give it to them. No, I just feel like there's like I have no need to write anything down in print these days.
Well, that's a different conversation.
I just like don't.
Is it though? Because I don't use cursive, like unless I'm signing my name, which is very rarely happening
Okay,
in
but
person.
you have like a list on the wall over there, right, for groceries.
oh,
and
I guess,
stuff.
and I write that in print.
And you write that in print.
When
Yeah.
you write, it's not cursive, right?
I guess not. Sometimes I accidentally blend the two together.
I do
I'll
that
like
too.
start in print and switch to cursive because it moves faster across the page.
I just never know how to do a Z, so I would just be like Jack Short, and then cursive, and then just Z. In there.
The Z
I know how
is
to
so
do it
much
now.
fun. It's
The
like
Z
a
is like
loop to a boop.
It's like a 3 that drank too much. Is kind of how I draw it.
It's like,
God.
yeah, it kind of is, but it like fell down a little.
Yeah.
Kind of like Chelsea usually does.
Oh my god, you should see the bruise on my leg right now.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Well, it's funny now that I have a new last name because I changed my name. My husband, it was important to my husband, and so we decided to do that. And so,
No longer liberated.
right. So I do support women who don't change their name as well. I think it's up to you and your partner. But anyway, so I changed my name, and now I have to like relearn a cursive signature, that is so hard. So it ends
Oh,
up
you
just
do
looking
have
like
you do have a Z. Yeah.
yeah. There's another Z in there, but it's like at least the Z was at the end. So if it fell off a little hard, it was okay.
It's
I could just
fine.
like go off to the side. Yeah. So now I have to like figure out how do I get it to flow again, and like that's hard because like you're not practicing it all the time. So like relearning that is like weird.
You're not like a girl in high school who's like practicing writing their name with the
like
boy's
hearts
last
and
name
shit. Oh my god. No, how sad.
over and over again.
That's what we thought was like the epitome of romance.
Yeah.
Oh, let me just take on his last name and support the patriarchy and become a property. It's fine.
You did that. You chose that.
I know. No, only because, look, in marriage, let me give advice to those of you who aren't yet married. Chelsea's gonna get married. It's kind of like a long-term relationship, but people who say that it kind of shifts a little after you get married, it kind of does. And the reality is you've got to figure out what's important to you, and those are the only battles you pick. And if something isn't that important to you, or you didn't set a precedent of something being important to you, then you got to hear the other person out. If it's important to them, then you want to find some balance. And it was important to him because that's the generation we were both raised in, is like you change your last name. So for him, it was still something that was important. For me, I didn't have a strong opinion otherwise.
Yeah, I didn't really have.
I'll tell my daughter though, baby, you don't have to change shit if I have a daughter. I'm gonna be like, no, I don't have to do nothing. Okay.
Are you? Did you make your middle name
I left my middle name the same.
the same? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine giving a fuck.
I just
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't really. It doesn't matter to me. Like if Dan cares, then I guess I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of was like my opinion the whole time. Now, after the fact, and after I realized how much of a pain in the fucking ass it is to change your name, I'm like,
I've
don't
heard
do it.
But like Matilda's a comic, like she wouldn't change her name because it's like her identity on
Moniker.
as
Right.
an entertainer.
Right.
So it's
And
kinda
she's
like,
an entertainer. Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exotic.
absolutely. Plus, I mean, who would want to change that last name? Epstein. That's a solid last
That's a
name. Look her up on
memorable last
Instagram.
name. You don't want to get rid of that.
Swapping Epstein for Schwartz though is like a waste of time.
Yeah.
You're like, we get it. You're Jewish.
People be like, Schwartz, like the law offices of FAO Schwartz? No, it's a toy store,
It is,
actually.
but Epstein and Schwartz definitely sounds like a.
That sounds like a law
Yeah,
office.
but Myrick also kind of sounds like a lawyer, right?
Does it? I don't know.
Myrick and Schwartz.
My family
Detective
was
Myrick.
like, ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was like, where are you going with that?
Wait, so Amy, you're uncomfortable with this, and you are comfy with cursive, Chelsea?
Yeah, I write in cursive.
I guess I'm comfy with it. I like the idea of cursive. I just like don't use it.
I just don't like that nobody else knows it now. It's actually almost like I have my own written language
was
that
gonna
only
say,
I understand.
They stopped teaching it like the year I was supposed to learn it is when my school was like, we're done teaching it.
Yeah.
You never got taught it in school?
Never was taught cursive.
Yeah.
Never.
Wow.
I know how to write in cursive, but it's not faster.
Fucking Florida education
The idea is
system.
that it's fast, right?
For me, I just write in cursive because if you see my print, you're like, did a small
worse.
child write this?
Yeah, I don't know why
Yeah.
cursive was created in the first place. I guess speed. Oh,
speed.
actually, I wonder if it has to do with. I think I
It's
remember
like
learning
ink.
this.
It's like ink.
It was the feather
Yeah, the
ink.
ink, yeah.
Picking up your
Feather
pen
ink.
would mess things up, so you had to keep it moving, keep it
Right.
flowing.
But like Dan, I can't write a note to Dan because like Dan will be like, I don't know what that says.
Oh my god, my cursive is just so like blended now. I feel like later on in like decades from now or centuries from now, people are gonna be like, and the hieroglyphics of the early of the early 20th century looked like. Or is it 21st century? Fuck. Which
Yeah.
one? This always confuses me.
They
we
go
go
the
again?
21st.
Are the 1900s in the 20th or the 21st century? They're in the 20th, right? Or
I
are
think
they
they're
in the
in the
19th
20th
century?
century.
I think they're in the 19th century.
Fuck, you said that with so much intelligence, it's annoying.
No, I like really don't.
I think wouldn't 1900s.
Because I remember being
19
confused about this before, so
But
now I'm not confident.
Isn't the 20th century like millennium? Like the millennium?
Yes.
I would
Welcome to
assume
the
the 21st century would be when it's
2100.
2100, right?
Yeah. This makes sense.
Do you remember Xenon? Girl
Curl
of the 21st century?
That's
Yeah,
why I was
that's
always
what
thrown
I'm
off.
thinking,
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, the music,
Ugh.
the outfits.
Protozoa.
Protozoa.
Oh my, yeah, wait, hold on. We're in the 21st century.
Oh, shit.
That's what I thought because
It ended in
you're
2000.
in the time.
Yeah. So it's okay, right. Yeah.
Right.
So we turned
So we were.
21st century now.
Oh, I
You
guess
know
that
what I mean?
makes sense. Like isn't the 20th century like World's Fair a thing like back in the day?
What?
Well, it's more like this. Think about it like this. When you turn 9, you've been alive for 8 years.
Yeah.
You're starting the 9th year.
Right. You're living
Oh
in your
wow,
ninth
that makes
year.
me feel so much better about turning 32. I'm not 32. I'm about to experience my 32nd year.
Right.
You're in your 32nd year, but you haven't been alive for 32 years.
Right.
Yeah,
You'll be
exactly. That's what
32
saying.
years
It's like
of
actually making me
age
feel
at
a little bit.
33.
So,
Yeah.
oh my god, so I'm like really 30
Right?
right
Am
now.
I thinking about this correctly?
I don't know.
Is the mathin'?
Yeah, because you turn 1 when you've already
Where's Dan?
been. No, you turn
No,
1 when
you
you're
turn
born.
1 when you're 1.
Right, when you're born.
No, you're born, you're
No, wait,
zero.
yeah, you turn.
You're
You
yeah,
turn
what
1
the
when
hell?
it's been a year.
Wait.
Okay, all right. So anyway.
The math ain't mathin'.
But when you turn 1, you've experienced 1 year.
Yeah.
When you turn 2, you've experienced
2 years. Yeah, so you're wrong completely.
But wait, well,
Wow, so that whole logic just fell apart right before our eyes.
So it's so you're older. Is my
Yes,
point.
yeah,
Right.
so you're actually older
so
than you
you're in
were.
your 33rd year.
Not yet.
which is
wow.
why it would map to the
No, you're
21st
in the-
century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you're in your 33rd year. When you turn 33, now you've been alive for a full 33 years.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. Okay. Yes. So you are
So
older.
basically, when you turn 32, you're in your 33rd year. Like the day after you.
the
turn
day after you
32,
turn 32,
you're in your 33rd.
you're in your
33rd,
33rd year. That's the 21st century. Okay.
Okay.
We took a minute, but we got there.
We really we got there.
We strayed far away from the uncomfy. So let's okay. Here's
I
another
mean,
one.
or did we?
We have 2 more of these. Actually, let's get these out of the way.
Oh, dear God.
Comfy or uncomfy? Low-rise jeans.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, Gen Alpha and Gen Z and anybody who thinks roll. No.
Okay.
Burn them.
Okay, I used to make fun of my mom so hard for the high-rise jean. I will never go back to
Never.
the low-rise jean.
I won't even wear low rise yoga pants or pajama pants. If it ain't high rise or at least mid high rise,
Yeah, it's not for me.
it ain't for me.
Yeah.
It ain't for nobody. Let's
Listen,
be
my
real.
mom was wise beyond her years, or was in her right years. I don't know. When I was younger, and I was like, "Why you wear those jeans past your belly button?" Younger me can go fuck themselves.
Yeah. You guys can go somewhere with that. It's like that and legging legs. Like, fuck off, okay? Anybody's legs are legging legs. And anybody who wears low-rise jeans should call Britney Spears and see how she's doing after all of her music videos was her
Wow.
wearing the world's tiniest pants.
I don't think we should just be attacking Britney like this.
No. I'm trying to demonstrate what low-rise jeans can do to your mental health.
Sometimes I feel a little Britney 2006. I'll be honest.
I feel Britney all the time. Actually, she's like still an icon, even though she's been through so much.
Yeah.
Wait, what are leg leggings? I'm googling it. It's
It's
unclear.
really-
it's like when you have a thigh gap.
It's basically
Legging
like
legs.
OG thigh gap.
Yeah. They call it legging legs now.
Oh, you're referring to the legs. You just refer to them as legging legs.
It's
because
like
of
you
the
either
they
have
have, like, a
legging
thigh
legs or you
gap.
don't. And I
Yeah.
guess you have to have a thigh gap to have legging legs because this
Yeah.
is like some new way of Gen Alpha actually not
How are
being
they gonna take
more
the one
elitist
pant
than
made
us.
for everybody and be like, no, now you have to be hot to wear like sweats? Essentially?
Yeah, I know,
Like,
right?
No.
Get
like
fucked.
elastic. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you are already hot and you can wear pants. Look at that. Wow. Fucking idiots.
God.
If I ever see a pair of low-rise jeans again, I will burn them.
You know, I'd probably try if I was like real skinny, but I'm just not rocking that bod right now.
You'd probably try what? Wearing low-rise pants?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, your ass always falls out of them. That's just Brew. He has
That's
strong
what I'm saying. It's kind of
opinions.
like designed like plumber crack pants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
If a man was wearing a pant that's like, oh, the whole trend is that they fit wrong. Like,
Yeah.
why
I remember I used to like look
would
at
you do something
Brew.
about this?
The only way for me to do anything about it is to get up.
What do you want? What does he want?
He just wants to be a dick.
He's just an
Matilda,
asshole.
there are cookies in the pantry. They're probably in a blue wilderness bag, Dentabones. Make them sit for it. Go get a cookie. They call them lunch bones.
All right, let's
All right.
keep it pushing.
Okay.
I used to check when I was like younger. Like I'd be like, how big is like the crotch on these pants? If it was like too long, I'd be like, no, mom, these are stupid pants. I hate them.
They could cover my vagina. Get
Yeah,
outta
like they
here.
could cover my whole vagina, and I'm only like 12.
I just feel like it was like they were made for you to hate your body. And oh, by the way, women or young girls at the time, like who already have hips, it made like, for example, I've always been curvy and it made me hate my hips more. And now as a grown ass woman, I'm like, no, hips are it. You want them. You want hips. Okay. Not only
fair.
because childbearing, if you decide to go down that journey, but they're just like sexy. Fuck yeah. You want that ass. You know what I'm saying?
That ass.
That. And if you don't have that ass, that's okay too. You can just live in
Amy
your
being
life.
the hype man for every girl on earth right now.
Yes, we need it.
So we are really uncomfortable with low-rise jeans.
Fucking yes.
Okay. All right, one more quick one.
Okay.
Cops on horseback, comfy or uncomfy?
I feel like it's just wholesome to me, so I'm comfy, but also like I'm like, you know, fuck the police. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god, I feel like you could spin this a couple ways, Jack. That it would be short. I feel like there's the comfy because I know they're well loved horses. Uncomfy because I know the kind of training those horses have to go through and those cops have to go through in order to get those horses through. And those horses sometimes get injured. Like, so it makes me worry about the horses because, you know, animals.
That's literally going to happen with any kind of training of any animal.
I know. But
There's
I
always
know.
a risk.
It serves a purpose. It's a beautiful thing, but also it's a scary thing. So I don't know. I go back and forth. But then if you look at the cop themselves that are on those horses,
I feel like it's kind of dorky a little.
they're dorky.
Yeah.
It's super dorky. And
I think it's a step up from like bike cop.
yeah, because when they get off the horse, they look like a
You
regular cop. You're like, okay, but when
you
they
think
get back
it's
on the horse, you're like,
Higher than a step up from bike cop.
Oh, it's definitely way cooler than a bike cop.
But it's a step up.
I mean, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's like buy a Segway. I just don't get why
I think they'd rather have horses. I don't think they want to be on
yeah,
Segways.
for their egos.
Yeah.
But my point is like a horse is like not useful as a cop unless you're in a crowd. But then it's like,
You're gonna like
but
run
don't
over
spook
some
the
people.
horse.
Yeah, right.
It's like what?
oh, those horses
Oh,
are made to be not
Imagine
spookable.
okay, the horse is basically a cop. Imagine a cop where if you accidentally grazed its back, it killed you.
It won't. It
I
can't.
mean, I guess for some people that's probably what's
It's
happening.
not that it can't. Those
I will
horses are
say-
genuinely trained to not get spooked. They just ask people. They tell people don't get behind the horse because anything could happen.
Yeah, but they're
technically.
horses. It's an animal.
Yeah.
Okay, next segment is science? Question mark? And you have to say it like that. Science? This is a new segment. We haven't done this segment yet. We plan on doing it.
Science.
So this might change over time, but how we're gonna do it today is I'm going to just give you like a very short version of some of the latest science that's out there right now, and I just want your opinions on it. I want to know what makes you comfy or uncomfy about it. I'm gonna maybe shed a little light on some of the things that I liked about it because I just look for funny, and we'll see where it goes. And maybe we'll learn from this one. Moving on with the science segment.
He looks for funny in the science.
Okay, so scientists have discovered that there's like a huge biological link between anxiety and testosterone across the board, but of course it affects men more, right? So in theory, the more testosterone you have, the less anxious you are.
Oh, not where I
No.
thought that was going.
Not real.
Not real?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it is real. This is the science.
No, that's
Science?
not real.
I kind of want to know one thing. I want to know what you guys think that means in general. We'll start there. What do you think that even means?
I think it's the patriarchy just trying to take being anxious from us now.
Well, for the
You
record,
can't handle the anxious.
Oh, well, actually, it's for us because we have testosterone.
Well, I think that's fascinating. I thought it was going to go the other direction.
Yeah,
like,
I did too.
like if you have more testosterone, you are more anxious.
Yeah.
But so it's interesting that it's the opposite. But I will say that
Oh, wait,
isn't
it's more testosterone, right?
if you have more testosterone, you're less anxious.
Oh.
So men, then traditionally,
Oh, okay. I took that the wrong way.
Yeah.
men would have more, or men stereotypically have more testosterone, and they're right because
Less anxious. Oh, I
Right, and they
redact
would
my
be less
previous
Right.
statement.
So women are essentially all
more
women
more
are anxious.
anxiety. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
more anxiety.
Yeah, obviously
Oh,
there are.
I take
for
it
the
back,
record,
patriarchy.
I didn't dig into this how it affects women mostly. I just kind of focused on this one article.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that there's other factors that also influence anxiety.
Huh.
So it
Oh,
might
of
be different
course.
for whatever. But in this circumstance, yeah, it's implying essentially that women are anxious and men who have less testosterone are anxious. And if you're a really manly guy, you're like chilling.
Well, really
Here's Gucci.
testosterone heavy guy doesn't make you manly. Let's clarify because those are hormones. But I think the thing that's fascinating to me is, okay, if we think back to like caveman times, okay, in the wild, testosterone beings, aka males, were made for, right? I know females did hunting, but men would do large scale hunting, right? Don't look at those fingers.
Focus.
Ben would do the men would take on like big game kills. Okay. Could you imagine a caveman in the corner going, oh my God, do you see that fucking lion? The lion. I'm so stressed. I'm anxious as fuck. When are we going to get this lion? Holy shit. You know what I mean? Like that, like the spiral of anxiety would not support the mission of the male, which is stay focused, kill, bring that kill home without getting killed. Like, you know what I mean? Like it kind of like,
I get what you're saying. I think that you're going to lose a lot of females here. But
No, here's the thing.
I'm
I
not
think
giving them a compliment. I'm just like
I've always
acknowledging-
thought of anxiety as potentially coming from being aware, like as an
Yeah.
animal.
Yeah, I
Just
think
being
so
like
too.
aware of your surroundings and
Like things
because
that could
because
potentially
you're
happen.
on guard. You have your guard up.
But what kind of animals would need to be aware and on guard? Prey, not predators. Guess what the man species was? Human species was caveman style. Predators. Less anxious.
I mean, other things wanted to kill us,
Comparatively.
though.
Yeah, we weren't. We were also killing predators.
we weren't the only predators. There were other predators, but we were still top of the food chain, had predators. So prey would be more anxious, but now that disconnects from our testosterone theory. I'm curious
So
how
you're
this
saying
study
women
was
are
conducted.
prey and men are predators?
No,
Oh my
no.
God.
I'm saying in the animal kingdom.
Men are predators.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. I was like, oh, wow, wait.
No,
We just
I
touched
mean,
on something.
Not where I was headed with that. I was just meaning like if we were talking about animals in general, animal kingdom, right? You said, oh, you'd be worried about. You're worried if you're prey, not predator.
Well, I just think now we talk about it like it's worried, but I think maybe it started out as aware,
Yeah.
like hyper observant.
Good. I'm curious how this study was conducted. Did they
So
just?
that's my next question.
Right.
How do you think it was conducted?
I think they took a bunch of men and women in a room and they were like, do you have anxiety? And majority of the women were probably like, yeah. And some of the men were like, yeah. But then that means the numbers would skew as those with more testosterone would have less anxiety.
What
Do you think that
did,
they
Chelsea?
like? I feel like they'd have to measure your testosterone, so there has to be like blood samples and stuff, and then they'd be like, this person has a little more testosterone and a little less anxiety.
Right. They probably had to correlate it to that.
Here's how they did this study.
Oh, Jesus.
They have a bunch of rats.
Of course, it's rats.
It's always rats.
They test their testosterone levels,
Yeah.
which vary.
Poor rats.
It's not actually called testosterone in rats, but it's like the equivalent.
Yeah.
For this sake, we'll call it rat T.
Okay.
A rat.
It has a scientific name, but they took a bunch of rats and made them anxious
How?
How?
by just stressing them out.
Like with
It-
what?
I don't have.
Like,
I don't have.
they
the
gave them
on the
details.
other side of the
They
glass.
gave them a lot of caffeine, a little bit of Adderall, and they
On
were
the
just
way
like,
over
a sugar-loaded
Right.
breakfast. Just stuck the protein cheese on the outside of the box, and they were like, "Try to get it, bitch."
On the way over here, Matilda goes, "What do they do? Text the rats. We have to talk." It's too good for me to steal that joke.
Why does that one statement in
so
any
good.
circumstance
Yeah.
with any human always make you anxious? If I get a meeting invite from my boss and she's like, "Catch up," I'm like, About what?
About what?
What happened?
Even
What did
just
I do?
calling somebody.
Yeah.
It's like, why? What? What's
Why are they
happening?
What's
calling
going
me?
on?
There's only like 3 friends that I can call consistently, and they know like there's nothing going wrong because I'm calling them. And it's because they're out of state. They
Or,
are
like,
not local.
When someone in your family calls you and then another person calls you in the family and they're unrelated and you're like, fuck,
You're like,
someone
"The
died.
numbers, the quantity of calls.
Yeah.
Someone died.
So basically, the rats having like a lot of anxiety, really stressed rats
Okay.
had significantly less rat tea.
Huh.
Yeah.
The super stressed out rats. Wait, were the super stressed out rats women? Do we know? Women rats?
So they just said rats.
Okay.
I think it doesn't really matter because if they're just going on, because it's not like they don't have any social norms when it comes to men and women that would.
But
affect
there's
the
still
social
rat
norms in rats,
reproductions.
yeah.
There's
Yeah,
st-
but they're not really like, it's not the same, right? So it's not like, it's like, well.
what do you mean?
they
Don't
live
rats
different
fuck and then
lives.
have babies?
No, but they live the same lives, I think. I just mean, I don't think the
Oh.
variation
Or
mattered
do
as much
they?
between the genders of the rats.
We don't know what rats do in the
Is there
privacy of
rat
their own
society?
They
home.
most likely got male rats because I think it'd be easier to
If
find
they wanted
the
to
T levels.
right,
but-
if they wanted to track T levels
Yeah.
on, if you actually were to do a proper scientific experiment, which I hope this is a scientific journal, then they would have had to have all been males to test the testosterone levels of different males, right?
Oh, that makes sense.
Because women don't have as much testosterone.
Right, but
We have estrogen and other fucked up shit.
yeah, it'd be
Women
harder to
have
see the
testosterone,
contrast.
We
too.
do. We
Yeah.
have, but way less.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is why, of course, it's more based on testosterone, not about men being more anxious. That's not what this article is. This article is specifically testosterone.
Oh, wow. We're so sexist.
So
We
it's
really
kind
took
of
it away.
well, no, because it's obviously like most men have
Yeah.
more testosterone than most women, so it's
Right.
But who knows?
We're in an interesting society that was a
That
lot of
was
like,
like-
cisgender.
I was
and-
going to say nowadays. Who knows?
Who knows? But something I think I learned recently, or maybe I've known this.
think
a
you
while.
learned it,
Yeah,
or-
I think I learned it. Could not be a fact. I think it's a fact. Women in a fight or flight scenario, like who either have experienced trauma or don't feel safe, if you will, regardless of what that means. There's a whole variety pack of what that could mean. Our bodies can actually produce more testosterone for survival.
Well, this is like the thing I talked about before where like men can, they can like breastfeed.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I see
If
what
you
you're
didn't hear
saying,
about
though.
that, you should check another episode out.
Like if there was an apocalypse and you in your baby were the only survivors and you just had to just
Yeah, you're like-
man up.
Your body is like producing
Yeah.
like more.
It's like we need to toughen you up, sister.
Well, it's just the hormones do different things, right? Like that's why it's funny. Like women throughout their cycle will actually have like more estrogen, more progesterone, and more testosterone, just depending upon what their body needs to do. So like every single month, our bodies go, "Oh my God, are we gonna get pregnant? Let's create this beautiful little nest." What do you fucking mean nobody inseminated me? Tear down the walls, murder everybody. Like this is the cycle. And during that time period, when you start to hate your spouse right before the whole bloodshed happens, that your testosterone levels rise. I think it's then. Because your body's basically like, we don't need no man. Nobody impregnated us. Fuck you. And it like gets in defensive posture. Women are crazy.
In turn, though, men have increased estrogen during their wives' pregnancy.
I would believe that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't
that's
they say that that's
good.
why they get like dad bods?
I would imagine
called
that
sympathy
that's more
weight,
about
okay.
like their life circumstances after having a baby. I think.
Okay, because I heard that like
Yeah,
their
that's probably
estrogen like goes up, so like they can gain more belly weight.
Oh, during the pregnancy, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe,
Like-
or like maybe their hips get wide as shit.
I feel like that probably doesn't happen. I
They're
think
getting birthing hips.
but I would imagine it's because of the they need to have. And again, I'm not a doctor.
Oh,
And,
it could
or
go
a
back to
scientist.
like animalistic time, like
I think
caveman
it's
times.
to feel better, like have more empathy and protect his. Like think about it. When you're pregnant, your hormones are raging and you are an emotional wreck, and you need your partner to be able to accommodate
Yeah, a little
your
sensitive.
emotional raging,
Oh, I was thinking
more
more.
sensitivity. So estrogen.
I was thinking more like caveman times. Maybe they put on a little more like weight. They get that estrogen because like now you have a baby. So who knows like how often you're gonna eat? Do you need the extra layer of fat?
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. Next time on Caveman Talks.
No, I know what you mean because it's like if you go far enough back,
Yeah,
like maybe it is all just like survival.
exactly.
I think it is all survival.
Eventually, it all has
In a
to
way,
be.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's been so long since then that there's new things that could have developed too, right?
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
the estrogen thing seems like naturally, biologically, I think that it's like just better off that you care a little more during
Yeah,
it. I also
right,
think
yeah.
maybe it
I
could
think your
be
hormones are
like
more sensitive to the.
your wife's like, I want a bagel. It's like 12 a.m. and you're just like, and your estrogen starts kicking in. You're like, oh, baby.
Well, it turns up the empathy and turns down the. I don't
fuck
want to.
you.
I mean, kind of, but not. Like, I don't want to like knock testosterone as a general
Aggressiveness,
hormone.
you
Yeah.
could say.
Well, testosterone serves a purpose in society, so I feel like it. But it's a protective. It's more protective is the wrong word. I'm not a scientist. It feels like it leads to more natural, not aggressive behaviors, but more defensive, predatorial posture versus estrogen leads to a different kind of
testosterone
emotion.
and aggression are
are like-
closely linked.
yeah, they're
it's not-
linked,
I don't
like-
think that's like
Right.
sexist. To
Roid
say
rage.
At all. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, roids are a little different.
Well, even
but
like okay, like a
yes,
bull
but-
shark. It's like the most aggressive animal on the planet, and it has the most testosterone.
Wow, that's a weird animal fact.
Is it?
Yeah.
I know
That's
a lot.
great,
Yeah.
yeah, we know.
So many.
Wait till Thanksgiving rolls around.
Okay. Anyway.
In other news,
Yeah. Do you feel like you learned something from science?
so many things.
I learned-
Science
That bull sharks have more testosterone
than any animal on the planet. What do they do with it?
That
We're
should
not
be a
sure.
segment, just me providing an animal fun fact. That would actually help me a
Animal
lot because I do a
facts.
lot of stand up involving that.
Yeah.
So maybe if I just looked them all up. Okay.
We feed into your
Anyway,
stand-up.
that was science.
Science?
Science.
Anyway, okay, so I think we should move on to a Mom Come Get Me, which is a classic segment you've seen on the podcast.
Mom, come
Where
get me.
Amy and Chelsea give us something that socially just makes them kind of uncomfortable, where they would maybe even call their moms to come get them. Who wants to start?
Oh yeah. You want to go? You want me to go?
No, here, you go first.
Okay. I have to pull out my notes. 'Cause
Oh, you have to pull out notes?
don't worry, I wrote them in cursive. I'm just
Is
kidding.
that what makes you uncomfortable?
On your phone.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Who writes things down anymore? Chelsea.
Everybody in this room except
Yep,
for you, to be honest.
Just literally, you're the only
well,
one who
I
does it.
use like digital formats, like OneNote. Okay. I have two. Okay. The first one is when your friend's outfit is having a technical issue, like see-through pants, and you don't know if you should tell them because there's nothing they can do about it, but you know everybody can see their ass every time they bend over.
So you like don't know if you should be a friend and tell them, or if you should just be like, meh.
They can't fix it now. I'll tell
like,
them later.
I'll tell them later. No, why would you tell them later?
I guess or
That's a bad
maybe
friend.
never tell them. Well, I don't want to wear the pants again, but I also like can't tell them in that moment because we're like out at a bar and their pants are see-through and I'm like,
So it's
listen,
like when your swimsuit top fell down and your nipples were out.
that was one time and I almost died. Okay, this is, it was so loud.
Almost died.
I almost died.
We were in the water.
Story
and
time.
it was maybe a foot deep.
Okay, no, here's what happened for the real. Okay, story time. We were all going tubing down a river. This river has large rocks and boulders at the
not like
bottom
a
of it.
river.
It's not. It is a river. It is a definitely
dramatic.
Bitch, Google rivers. Okay, Jack, what is a river? While we're talking about this. Okay. Anyway, so we're floating down a river. We have a cooler, and I'm like trying to grab something or whatever, and I basically I fall in the water, and I'm wearing a 2-piece bikini because, duh, and which I probably won't do ever again now. And as I fall in the water, the only floating tube available for me to grab so I don't go under, because there's a rock, like a boulder underneath me. So I'm getting stuck between our stack of tubes all tied together and this giant boulder. So I grab the beer cooler floaty and I'm trying to hold on for dear fucking life. Meanwhile, my bathing suit is getting ripped off by this boulder. And, you know,
Meanwhile, we're all trying to save the beer.
they're all yelling at
She's
me because
pulling the
I'm pulling the
cooler.
cooler into the water. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm going to drown under this rock because there's a connective tissue of floaties above me. So I wouldn't have been able to come up for air. And so I lose part of my bathing suit top being dragged by a rock, trying not to fucking drown the beer cooler because everybody's yelling at me while I'm trying to stay afloat.
Your version is way more dramatic. It
It's
was
'cause
really
that's
just
what
like
happened.
Amy fell off her tube in a foot of water with, yes, there was a big rock right there. And then grabbed the beer
You don't even
cooler.
know. That big
And
rock-
then, and then your nipple came out. That was all.
And to this day, they're like, Amy flashed everyone, and oh my God. And it's like, dude, I almost drowned because of a boulder, not a rock. You're acting me to sound like it's a pebble. No, this was an island under the water, okay? And I would have drowned. I would have drowned if it wasn't for me grabbing onto that beer cooler, trying to hold up until I could get off the rock. Meanwhile, the rock is fighting with my top, and it's a whole thing. Also, who the fuck created girls' bathing suits to be that way? Okay.
If she stood up, the water would have been less than.
I couldn't
knee-high.
stand up because of the boulder. These are clear facts. Anyways, okay, mom. So wait, so do you tell someone like, what do you, if you're at a bar,
Yeah, you
your
tell
friend's
them.
pants are see-through, they can't fix anything. The rest of the night they're gonna be self-conscious or they go home immediately.
What, are you
Or
not
they're
sitting
just
down
like,
at any
"Fuck it,
point?
I did that on purpose.
You can't back your friend up to a wall or sit them down so their ass isn't out.
I could, but I could do that without telling them.
I
They're
don't
just
know.
like, why are you bird dogging me this whole time?
They're like, ma'am, what the fuck?
Bird dog. I don't know who said this. This is not an original thought, but somebody said something along the lines of like, you should only tell somebody something like that if it's something that they can change in like a second.
Oh yeah.
If it's something that would require them to like leave or get surgery or do something drastic, then you just don't say it.
Right, like you have something in your teeth, totally will tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should throw away your favorite pants because I can see your entire ass every time you bend over. Hit or miss, hit or miss.
Saying it when you're out though, yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
would they go home or would they just be subconscious the whole night?
Right. Are they like, mom, come get me? My friend just told me my pants are see-through and I don't have other pants with me because who the fuck brings extra pairs
Maybe
of
you
pants?
just serve them like a couple of drinks and then you tell them and then they're like, fuck it.
Honestly, that's probably what happened because this is like a real example of my life.
Okay.
Like in the last couple of years. I was like, oh, friend. But with love. I mean,
Yeah.
she looked amazing, so fuck it. My other mom come get me was, oh, hold up.
Well, Chelsea should do one. You guys should switch.
Chelsea, you should do one.
Oh, mine is like totally different. I was going to say like, well, when you, cause I actually recently just like started a new job.
Oh.
When you're trying to like figure out the dynamic like in the workplace.
Oh, yeah, the office
And
vibes.
you're like, who's gonna be like the snitch? Who's gonna be my friend? Who can you like get away with stuff around? Who's gonna be the fun one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm having to do that right now and just like sussing it out is hard.
Sussin.
Yeah.
Dude, I
So
I feel
yeah.
that.
Like sometimes I'm just like, oh God, I really fucked up. I shouldn't have done that in front of that person or whatever. So I'm like, Mom, come get me.
Right. Or like, this person's helpful. This person will try to sabotage me.
Yeah.
Yeah, who can you talk shit about the other people with?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yes.
That's really what you're looking for.
Everybody
I'm
needs
saying.
a work
Yeah.
bestie. I have one. She knows who she is. I also had one for many, many years. She also knows who she is. If you're listening to this podcast, just know I love you.
You gotta have like a friend amongst the
Yeah.
like the work friends. You gotta have like the real friend.
Yeah. You gotta have like the work bestie.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are the resties.
Besties for the resties.
Bestie for resties.
You have a lot of these little rhyming expressions that are actually pretty good. like sleeve and cleave.
That was good.
Sleeve and cleave should really be like a t-shirt we make for the podcast.
Oh, it'd be good.
I cannot wait. Let's fucking do
Would
it.
it have sleeve and cleave though? It must. It has to. But
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
wear it out
Well, it's sleeve or cleave.
Yeah.
because it's like a say.
Or sleeve and cleave. Yeah, we'd have to.
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
we'll
sleeve
work
or
on the
cleave.
marketing. But yeah, 100%.
Should be a beaver on
It'd
it.
be like Uncomfortably Millennial podcast, and then be like sleeve or cleave on the back.
But then if it has neither sleeves or cleave, we have to like, you know.
No, when people walk up and be like, "What the fuck is sleeve or cleave?" And you're like, "Listen, you don't get it, but I can tell you right now, you're doing sleeve and not cleave."
We just
You
have
can
like a little dotted cutting line around the sleeves or the sleeve. It's up to you.
That's pretty great, actually. Coming soon to
It's
a
horrible
storefront
shirt.
near you.
Sounds like an ugly shirt.
No, it sounds adorable. I love my "Hello, I'm anxious" shirt. It's like a tie-dye t-shirt.
Yeah, I
It's like,
know. When we talked about the anxious thing, I was like, perfect shirt to wear.
perfect.
Yeah.
Anxiety. It's everywhere.
I want to get one that says, "Hello, I'm nonverbal."
Oh my god, that might be a little offensive to people who are actually nonverbal.
What are they gonna say?
So fucked up. Cut him out of the podcast. He's gonna get us canceled before we even got started.
Okay, so I think we, on that note, move on to a little
Oh, sweet
comfy moment of the
Jesus.
week. You guys have a
Oh,
comfy
okay.
moment of the week? I actually have one too.
So fucking Lily, I do. Chelsea, you go first.
I actually don't have one, so go for it.
Oh my god, she's never prepared. Just kidding. She's just the beauty of the town. Okay.
Thank you.
Comfy moment of the week is Beyonce hitting #1 in the country music charts. She is the first Black woman to hit #1 on the country music charts. She literally dropped it as like, who knows, probably a side floof, like Beyonce being like, oh, fuck it, whatever, let me just try this for like a day. Beyonce, it's slapping. Okay, you're incredibly talented. I'm fucking jamming out. I can't get to Texas out of my head. Never mind. They don't know.
I don't know the whole song, but it's pretty cool. Like pretty out of the box. I did not expect it.
I feel like it's like her and T Swift and a couple others who have like really just become friends and decided to say, fuck the music industry. We're going to do this our own way. Even I think it was Kelly Clarkson's idea to Taylor Swift in like a tweet to tell her to re-record all her songs to make them Taylor's version so that she could own the rights to all her music. That's how she blew up now and how she's like a billionaire because she owns all of the rights now to all of her Taylor's version songs.
Yeah.
So I just love it. I love women supporting women. I love the idea of jumping genres. I love the idea of a black woman at the top of the country music charts. I love fresh country music.
Don't have to be like in a box for sure. Like
Yeah.
if they're like creative and artistic, just do whatever.
Yeah, don't be a box, be a bubble. Float around and do what's right, and then pop when you're ready.
I think Beyonce can do no wrong. To be
Yeah,
honest.
that's
Queen
actually
Bee.
really fair. Yeah.
Queen Bee. Yeah. It's Queen Bee and Queen T these days. It's kind of a TB, if you will.
I would say she's my dream woman, but honestly, I don't deserve her.
Waits for other shoe to drop. She's too busy reading about Vamp Scamp over here.
I just mean, like, I would never disrespect her by thinking that I had a shot. You know what I mean?
Beyonce or Mrs. Epstein?
Beyonce. I think I have a shot with Matilda.
Maybe.
Depends
After
on
this,
the day.
maybe not. Depends on her testosterone levels.
That's a solid comfy moment of the week, though. Shout out Beyonce. I did
Fuck
hear a
yeah,
clip of the song.
Beyonce.
Of course, it's like her. She has the voice of an angel. She can do whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
Her range is incredible.
Oh,
Yeah.
her runs are so
and
good.
it wasn't lame, twangy country.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
No,
like,
it's fun.
She did
Just-
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like immersion country with a little poppy twang poppy like runs and stuff. But it's outro Beyonce song if we could afford to pay for that.
No,
It's
we
so
can't.
good.
We can't afford
We
that.
definitely can't. Queen Bee, but we love you. And I will be line dancing to that after this
Maybe.
podcast.
What's yours?
You guys are not going to care about this. Maybe one listener will. Shane Gillis. Are you familiar with Shane Gillis? He's a comic, big guy, big Southern guy. He's not actually Southern, but he kind of is. He's a big white guy.
I feel like he sounds familiar.
He's
Right?
He
very,
lives in
very
Island?
funny. He
He's in the right business.
He got a job writing for SNL
Oh.
like a few years ago, and that was like a big break of his, right? And then he immediately got fired
Oh.
for making like a pretty fucking stupid Asian joke where he just like uses Asian slurs. That's
okay.
obviously not great. It's whatever. But he's kind of like an edgy comedian, and he was just bombing, and it was weird.
Like Dane Cook, except
No,
A
and
little
not
bit
even, you
later.
can't
Oh
even
my
compare the two.
God.
Dane Cook's like probably actually a creep, but
definitely.
Shane Gillis just made an off-color joke basically,
Okay.
and he got fired from SNL. And everybody was like, "That's crazy. He's so funny. Like he seems like a nice guy." Like, so he blew up on his own slowly as a stand-up comic, and then they had him host SNL last night.
What?
They brought him back to host
Wow.
Full fucking
Can
circle.
you imagine if you got fired from somewhere and then they're like, "JK, we come host"?
JK, yeah.
Well, there's very few people who had written on that show and then come back to host it in general, let
That's
alone someone who
awesome.
got fired, having never even started writing there.
The amount
got
of
fired.
That's
redemption
inspirational.
that is.
Yeah.
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 That's awesome.
That goes to show you can say off-putting shit in a really fucked up world and still come out on top. Okay.
No, I think really what it is, it's just like people are complex. Everybody makes mistakes.
Yep,
100%.
absolutely.
It's a bit of like a cancel culture win where it's like you can't just cancel every single person the same. Like it varies how mad you should be about something.
Absolutely.
He got
Yes.
reprimanded, I think, in a way at
Yeah,
least.
you got to
and then-
learn from the
I
hard
will
way.
say
Yeah,
I'm
he's-
not
he learned
Asian,
from-
so it's hard for me to really like.
You're
maybe
not?
I would care more about what he said,
if
but
you were Asian.
if I was honestly, then I can feel for that. But
I think the reality is it's a fair statement. Like he should have learned a lesson and he did. He got fired and that's something he needed to evolve from. So now he's come back and hopefully with a good strong vengeance and maybe a little less off-putting.
no, I mean he's
Some of
like
the comments.
still making the same types of jokes. He's really funny.
Oh.
But he started out his monologue though. He, the host
Still
always does
fucked
that
up.
thing in the beginning, and he goes, I actually got fired from here. Don't Google why. Don't look it up." He's like, no, don't even look into that. He just keeps going.
Look away. Well,
Anyway,
all
big
the-
moment in comedy.
I love that. And it's funny because
That's
it
awesome,
feels
yeah.
like cancel culture is there's people fighting back now. But like even not to bring back to Taylor Swift, but the whole Travis Kelce like
So
yelling at Andy Reid and people were trying to be like, oh my God, cringe. Like they like wanted Taylor to like dump him right there. And it's like, dude, everybody makes mistakes.
Are you talking about
own
when he
your
was like
shit.
yelling at the end of the?
Yeah, during the Super Bowl,
He
he's
was
all
cutting
passionate
like a
to get back on
WWE
the.
promo.
No,
Is that what you're talking
not
about?
that. No, this is when he body bumped Andy Reid because he was yelling at him, "Put me in,
Yeah,
coach!"
he was like yelling at him.
and
yeah.
Andy Reid like stumbled because he wasn't prepared
No, that
for
was
Travis.
during the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That coach doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, but a
Yeah.
bunch of people started to like almost have a cancel movement for Travis, and they were like, and I was like,
it
dude,
just a good clip. That was a good clip. We watched
great
it,
clip.
and when that happened, we were all like, damn, like he slammed into
it's a
that guy.
great clip. But people forgot, like, oh, earlier in the season, Andy did the same thing to Travis. So like, nobody's perfect. Humans are complex, and
Yeah.
I think life lesson of the week is, learn your lessons and move the fuck on.
People make mistakes.
Yeah,
Damn straight.
like coastal grandma.
Or like my brother, my parents.
Oh. Alrighty. We are so glad you joined us here today for the Uncomfortably Millennial podcast. Yeah, I put a little funk in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
do the
did.
voice. There we
Yeah.
go. All right.
There it is.
You can
That's
hear
not
someone.
country.
Do it. Yeah, you do
That
a
was
real
a
country
voice.
voice. Yeah.
No,
voice.
don't do it. It's okay.
I have many voices and many personalities.
And sometimes they merge.
They do. Let us know in the comments what kind of comfy or uncomfy topics you want us to cover. Share us your opinions. Let us know your thoughts. Subscribe. Follow along for this very uncomfortable journey.
Yeah, let us know. Are aliens sexy?
Are they? Science?
Who knows?
Thank you for listening.
Yeah.